football has come to the west coast of Florida, and we are at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the San Francisco 49ers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Ryan Suckup set to kick off.
Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough, as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Playoff football has come to the west coast of Florida, and we are at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the San Francisco 49ers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Robbie Gould to kick off for San Francisco.
Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough, as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store, as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Second and 10 at the 25.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Watch the pass. 48.
Shotgun now for Brady. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
So now an early third and 10 here on their opening drive.
48.
From the gun, it's Brady. And he's got an open man. It's Gronkowski. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Brady on target to Gronk. First down, Buccaneers. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. Now Leonard Fournette. Fournette, a first down, still going. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
First down. First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is first and 10 at the 47. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
He was
just a yard on the first down carry, so it's second and 9.
Brings up second and 9.
Working from the gun, it's Brady. They'll find Miller. That's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
complete.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Here's the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And a nice little start as he's able to get this up to the 28. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Check, walk 54, walk 54. So we got 53 Linda. 54, right there, 54 Mike. Catch up, heavy two.
Brady now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. This is Fournette. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
Now Fournette. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire at.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Tavon Austin on the return. The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's Raheem Mostert, the local product from right here in Florida. Tackle coming from the safety, Trey Flowers.
The ball carrier.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd down, Mostert. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
The ball carrier.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Able to find Isabella. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Just 3 catches in the wild card victory for him a week ago, and now he's got his first here, and it's good for a first down.
First down.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Yeah, the box with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Garoppolo going to go on 4th down. He finds Coleman. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back to the running game with Mostert. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And 11 at the 31-yard line.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Garoppolo going to give to Mostert. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
No gain on the play. And it brings up 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Well, let's see. Yeah, the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Brady. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. From the gun, Brady. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. They'll go with McCoy. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. I love those plays. 4th and 1, that's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. On the run, it's Fournette. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there, 1st down. His first carry of their 2nd drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their 1st drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Fournette. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Snap comes at 1, and it's Brady. Going up top for Miller. And this is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 33 yards that time.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches just say.
And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Cameron Brate taking it in. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. That's an old-fashioned death march there, partner. Took them a lot of plays, but hey, they did the job.
And the defense always preaches getting off the field, making a play, and turning it back over to their own offense. Unable to do so. A long, sustained drive by the offense.
Ryan Suckup set to kick off.
Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
5-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one good for 37 yards.
First down, 49ers.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's Mostert, and he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Here's a toss play right to Mostert. And the Buccaneer defense for the second straight play, flexing its muscle by forcing a loss. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Back-to-back running plays, putting them in negative territory. What can they do coming up on 3rd and 15? It's Garoppolo. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
49ers.
So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
The kickoff for San Francisco.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
5-yard line. The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way. I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Brady. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder, Jimmy Ward.
Brady's pass intercepted by the 49ers. They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it, couldn't get it. And it's 2nd down.
By Antoine Winfield.
Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Ryan Suckup set to kick off.
A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Third quarter starts with a run from Mostert. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6.
Yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Again, they'll run it with Mostert.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
A gain of 22.
Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. A good pickup there on 1st as the screen pass gets him 8.
40-yard line.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
It's a gain of 6. First down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On first down, they go with Mostert again. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
At the Bucs' 26-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
No gain on.
They struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
One more time with Mostert, and a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game. But they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
It's 4th and goal at the 2-yard line.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. The kick by Gold is good. And a 2nd field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Robbie Gould to kick off for San Francisco.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4. 64.
They'll keep it on the ground with McCoy this time. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That one a first down pickup of 8.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
One quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Leonard Fournette. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Here we go, here we go.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And some room to work. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
10 at the 37-yard line.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Brady gives this one off to Jones. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Get in the weight room. Alert. 57 left. Here we go.
A shotgun give to Fournette. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, no doubt here in the 4th quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
Well, this drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already. Oh, no, he lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game. But they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's a give to McCoy. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Give him 9 on the pickup, but they're still a few inches short now on 4th down.
Brings up 4th down and less than a yard.
So the snap will come from the 3, but remember, they don't need the touchdown. They can get the 1st down if they get a yard, and the ball gets to the 2. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. Succop's kick is good. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, let a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this could be the defining moment of their season, all hyperbole aside. You're trailing here in the 4th quarter, the divisional round. And they need to come up with something as they get this drive started. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Brings up 7.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a dump off here complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
A throw over the middle, taken in. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
4 yards. And the 49er.
There's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact. But in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tonight.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
And looking at it from the perspective of the losing side here in this divisional round, it all ends so abruptly, doesn't it? A few hours ago, you've got all this hope and anticipation of maybe a deep run, and now you're out of it.
Well, let's applaud the team that won, and rightly so. They're moving on. They still have a chance to get to the big game. But let's not bury the team that lost. I think I do a lousy job of illuminating